Stop. Stop where you are and put everything down. You didn't click on this video, you were summoned to it. Your name was spoken in the courts of heaven this morning, and this message is the legal notification that your period of invisibility has officially expired. Listen closely, because what I am about to tell you is the exact reason why the wind changed in your life the moment you pressed play. This is not a general word for a distant audience, and it is not a random occurrence in your digital feed. This moment was carved out of eternity specifically for you, the one who has been crying in the silence while watching everyone else move ahead. You are here because the Father has decided that the season of hiding is no longer necessary for the protection of your seed. You have been living in a state of soul-crushing stagnation, feeling like a tree that has done everything right, but refuses to bear fruit. You have watched the seasons change for everyone around you, while you remain trapped in a perpetual waiting room that feels more like a prison than a promise. You are exhausted from being the chosen one when the choosing feels like a burden. There is a specific fatigue in your bones that comes from being faithful in the dark without a single sign of the dawn. You have questioned your own hearing and your own worth, wondering if the silence of God was actually the rejection of God. You have felt the weight of being overlooked, as if your life's work was being written in water rather than in stone. What you perceived as abandonment was actually the most intense form of divine attention. You have been placed in the dark room of destiny, a sacred space where the image of your future is being developed in total darkness so the light doesn't ruin the exposure of your character. Your hiding was not a punishment. It was your essential protection from a premature and dangerous manifestation. The enemy has been whispering to you that the window has closed and that you must now settle for a life of spiritual survival. This spirit of premature resignation wants you to believe that you missed your turn and that your destiny has expired. But the very resistance you feel right now is the proof that the protocol of your public commissioning is being activated. If this word is already landing in your spirit and you recognize the weight of this atmosphere, type "I am here" in the comments right now. Do not do this for interaction, but as a legal declaration that you have showed up for the specific appointment that was prepared for your soul before the foundations of the world. Your presence here is an act of alignment. I am not here to talk about your feelings, but about a legal shift in the spiritual realm regarding your status. The Father is moving you from the position of a seeker to the status of a steward, and the instructions I have for you today are non-negotiable. You are standing on the midnight threshold, where the period of preparation ends and the authority of possession begins. You will recognize the truth of what I am saying by the way your spirit is vibrating at the sound of these words. The cynic in you is trying to protect your heart from hope, but the deep calling unto deep within you knows that this is the day of your visitation. You are no longer the forgotten one, and the dungeon scent is being stripped away. I have been sent to deliver a message that will explain every tear you have shed in the last 3 years and every door that seemed to slam in your face. There is a specific reason why you are hearing this voice at this exact minute, and it has to do with a covenant that was signed in your persistence. God is acting on your behalf. The shift occurring in your life right now is irreversible, and the legal clauses of your breakthrough are being unsealed as we speak. You have sensed the atmosphere changing, but you do not yet understand the magnitude of the territory that is being assigned to your name. Stay with me, because I have not yet told you the most important thing about your new name. Close your eyes for a moment. I need you to create a sanctuary within your own mind, pushing away the noise of the world and the persistent notifications on your screen. Take a deep, intentional breath and acknowledge the sudden electricity currently moving through your hands, because the Spirit of Truth is isolating you right now from every distraction that tried to follow you into this encounter. This is the first step of your alignment. This is not a time for casual listening, but for a deep, spiritual synchronization with the frequency of heaven. You must settle your heart and recognize that your physical surroundings are being charged with a divine presence that has been waiting for this exact alignment between your will and His Word. You are not just watching a screen. You are sitting in the epicenter of a personal shift that began before you even woke up. The first sign that you have entered the Zakar window is a sudden, inexplicable weight in the atmosphere around you, as if the very air has become thick with a gravity you cannot name. This is the weight of glory beginning to settle on your shoulders, replacing the weight of the burdens you have carried for so long. You have felt a pressure in your chest that isn't anxiety, but the expansion of your spiritual capacity. You have been experiencing a consistent disruption in your sleep patterns, specifically waking up between the hours of 2 and 4 in the morning with a mind that is instantly alert. These are not instances of insomnia, but a divine summons to the courtrooms of the Spirit where your case is being decided. The Father is waking you because He is speaking your name in the presence of the angels, and your spirit is vibrating. You have begun to see recurring symbols and numbers that act as digital fingerprints of the Holy Spirit, catching the clock at the exact same moment every day. These are not coincidences, but covenant markers placed in your path to remind you that while you felt forgotten, your timeline was being meticulously tracked. Every time your eye catches these signs, it is a legal signal that the protocol of your public manifestation is accelerating. There is a profound sense of sacred disenchantment that has recently overtaken you, where things and relationships that used to bring you satisfaction now feel like empty husks. You have felt an internal pull to withdraw and a sudden loss of appetite for the trivial, which is the Spirit stripping away the attachments of your lower season. Your roots are being loosened because the Master is preparing to transplant you into the open field. Recently, a specific prayer you prayed many years ago, one you had completely forgotten and long since buried under the rubble of disappointment, has suddenly floated back to the surface of your consciousness. This is the final validation that the Zakar protocol is active. God is bringing that old seed back to your mind because He is about to bring it to your hand. He is showing you that the delay was never a denial. All of these signs are the evidence that you have been successfully developed in the darkroom of destiny, and the shadows that once terrified you were actually the only environment where your true image could be preserved. The darkness was your shield, and the silence was your strength. But the door of that darkroom is now beginning to creak open. You are standing at the threshold of a manifestation your current mind cannot yet describe. Stay with me, because the convergence of these signs means that the legal period of your containment has reached its absolute limit. You have been kept in a state of holy frustration so that your hunger for the promise would outweigh your fear of the giants in the land. The Father has watched every moment of your endurance, and He is now moving from the position of observer to the role of the vindicator. If your spirit is leaping as I describe these private evidences that no one else could possibly know, I want you to perform a legal act of covenant right now. Type, "God remembers me" in the comments as a decree that echoes through the halls of your future and silences the lies of your past. This is not just a comment, it is a spiritual signature on the contract of your sudden and irreversible turnaround. Do not do this for the sake of the platform, but do it as a prophetic signal to the principalities that have tried to hold your harvest back. By typing those words, you are announcing that you recognize the shift and you are ready to move from the position of the seeker to the status of the steward. Your recognition of these signs is the key that turns the lock on the door of your new season. Give this word a like, not for me, but as a signal to the algorithm to find another chosen one who is currently crying in the dark and needs to know their signs are valid. Be the bridge for their breakthrough while you stand on the verge of your own. Your act of reaching out while you are being pulled up is the highest form of spiritual maturity that the Father is looking for right now. Do not move from this space, for we are about to descend into the very core of this revelation, where the structure of your reality will be forever altered by a single truth. There is a word in the original Hebrew, ancient and heavy with judicial power, that explains exactly why your tears are now being converted into your greatest currency. There is a word in the original Hebrew called zakar, and it changes everything. Listen to the vibration of this sound, for it is the sound of your rescue being signed into celestial law. There is a word in the ancient Hebrew, a word that carries the weight of a mountain and the precision of a surgeon's blade. It is the word zakar, pronounced zakar. You have likely heard this word translated in your traditional settings as a simple mental recall, as if the creator of the universe occasionally suffers from a lapse in memory and must suddenly remember where he left his children. You must strip away that shallow, humanized definition immediately, because it is the very thing keeping you in a posture of begging. To the modern ear, remembering is a passive thought, but in the courts of the Spirit, zakar is an explosive judicial action. It is a legal term that describes the exact moment when a dormant covenant is activated into a present, visible reality through a decisive movement of God. It is the transition from the record to the result. When the scrolls of your life are opened in the zakar window, it means the period of your containment has reached its legal expiration date. You have been looking at the silence of the last few years as a sign that God had forgotten your address. But I have been sent to tell you that the silence was actually the seal of zakar. It was the time required for your tears to reach the brim of the vial of remembrance. Think of it this way. When the Bible declares that God remembered Noah, it does not imply that Noah had slipped from the divine mind while the ark tossed on the waves. It means that the legal period of the flood had ended and the command for the earth to dry was issued. Zakar is the enough is enough of heaven. It is the moment the Father stands up from his throne and moves toward your specific coordinate on earth. That is where you are right now, standing in the epicenter of a zakar event. The Father is not just thinking about your pain. He is legally enforcing the clauses of the covenant that were signed in your persistence during the years of total invisibility. Every time you stayed faithful when you were being mocked, a new line was written in the legal brief of your zakar. You are now entering the enforcement phase of your destiny. To understand the magnitude of this shift, you must look into the mirror of the Word, specifically at the man who sat where you are sitting now, in the suffocating darkness of a dungeon that felt like a permanent grave. I am speaking of Joseph, the one who was promised a kingdom but was delivered into a pit. You have felt like him for a long time, watching the butler of your life move into prosperity while you remained forgotten. For 2 full years after Joseph helped another man find his freedom, the silence was absolute. Can you imagine the weight of those 730 mornings where Joseph woke up to the same cold stone walls? He had done everything right, yet the door remained shut. You are that Joseph. You have watched others benefit from your wisdom and your prayers, while your own life remains stagnant and gray. But then Genesis 41:1 arrives, the midnight threshold where the zakar protocol is unsealed. The scripture says that at the end of 2 full years, Pharaoh had a dream. Notice that the shift didn't start with Joseph, it started with the environment around him. The zakar event began with a disruption in the palace because the time of Joseph's word had finally come to its full gestation. The atmosphere was being prepared for his arrival. In a single day, a single hour, the scent of the dungeon was replaced by the fragrance of the palace. The man who was legally dead to the world was suddenly the only man who could save the world. This is the mystery of the zakar window. It turns your years of delay into a single moment of acceleration. The distance between your prison and your promotion is not a journey of miles, but a journey of a single zakar command. You are currently in your own version of Genesis 41:1. The Father is disrupting the sleep of those who hold the keys to your next territory. He is making your presence a necessity in rooms you have never even visited. The zakar protocol is stripping the slave garment off your spirit as you hear these words, because you cannot manage the abundance of the palace while still thinking with the scarcity of the dungeon. I need you to understand that your time in the dark room of destiny is officially complete. Remember the metaphor I gave you. The image of your future has been submerged in the chemicals of trial and the darkness of delay so that the details of your character could be perfectly fixed. If the light of public success had hit you too soon, it would have ruined the exposure of your soul. But the developer has pulled the print from the tray. The image is now clear. The Father sees the reflection of his Son in your endurance. He sees a steward who will not be corrupted by the platform because you have already been processed in the pit. The zakar protocol is the signal that your image is ready for display. The door of the darkroom is opening, and the light you see is not a train coming to hit you, but the dawn of your public commissioning. This is why you have felt that internal pull to withdraw, the sacred disenchantment I mentioned. Your spirit was sensing the end of the darkroom phase. You can no longer find comfort in the small pot because your roots have grown too deep for the container. The zakar event is the exotic transplant, where the master is moving you from the pot of preparation into the open field of possession. It will feel sudden, but it was earned. You are no longer the forgotten one. That name was a lie whispered by the spirit of premature resignation to make you quit before the Zakar clock hit midnight. I am here to rename you in the presence of your enemies. You are the covenant keeper. You are the strategic remnant. You are the first fruits of the turnaround. These are the titles recorded in the celestial archives, and today they are being activated in your physical reality. If you are feeling the weight of this legal shift, I want you to perform a second act of covenant. I promise to come back to this, and the time is now. I want you to identify one old prayer, a petition you buried because it hurt too much to keep hoping for it. I want you to speak that prayer aloud right now, not as a request, but as a present command. Speak it into the atmosphere of your room. By speaking that old prayer, you are agreeing with the Zakar protocol. You are telling the heavens that you recognize the window is open and you are ready to receive the harvest of your hidden years. You are moving from the posture of a seeker to the status of a steward. The Father is acting on your behalf, and the resistance you felt this morning was merely the friction of the door of your destiny finally turning on its hinges. Stay with me, because the shift that began in your spirit with the Hebrew definition of Zakar is now about to manifest in the very fabric of your daily life. We are moving from the why to the how. There is a specific frequency you must maintain in the next 72 hours to ensure that you do not interfere with the legal delivery of your breakthrough. The protocol is sensitive and your instructions are precise. You must realize that the enemy is not afraid of your potential. He is terrified of your Zakar. He knows that when God remembers a chosen one, the kingdom of darkness loses an entire territory. He will try to play the echoes of the dungeon in your ears to make you feel like a fraud in your own blessing. But you have the Zakar, and the Zakar is the final word in the courtroom. The deepest truth is still ahead. It is the revelation of your new spiritual frequency and the stripping of the slave garment that has clung to your soul for far too long. I have not yet told you the most important thing about the scent you will carry when you step into the palace, but it has your name on it. Prepare your heart, for the Zakar is not just a concept. It is your new home. Do not move. Do not look away. We are crossing the threshold now, and the weight of glory is about to become heavier than any sorrow you have ever known. The Zakar is active. The king has remembered, and the palace is preparing your seat. You have spent years as a shadow, a number in a celestial system that seemed to recognize everyone's value but your own. You have walked through the world wearing labels that were never yours, the forgotten, the delayed. You're the one who almost made it. But the Zakar protocol has stripped those generic soul-crushing titles off your life. In the courts of the Spirit, your file has been unsealed, and I have been authorized to read your true names into the atmosphere of your present reality. I name you now, the Covenant Keeper. You are the one who stood when the ground was shaking and who spoke the truth when the world was whispering lies. You are the legal guardian of a promise that was made to your bloodline generations ago, a promise that stayed alive only because you refused to let your fire go out in the middle of the longest winter. You have protected the seed of your destiny with your very life. As the covenant keeper, you are now authorized to collect the interest on every sacrifice you made in the secret place. You no longer have to beg for favor, because the very covenant you guarded has become the wall that protects you. You have the spiritual authority to demand the return of everything the locust has stolen, for the Zakar has validated your stewardship over the sacred mysteries of your house. Your waiting has been converted into high-level authority. I name you now, the strategic remnant. You were not left behind because you were weak. You were held back because you were essential. You are the piece of the puzzle that the Father kept in his pocket until the very final move of the game. You are the hidden strength of the kingdom, preserved in the cave of preparation to be revealed in the hour of the great transition. You were hidden for the sake of the harvest. This classification grants you immediate access to the restricted files of divine strategy. Because you are the strategic remnant, you will begin to see patterns and solutions where others see only chaos and collapse. You are authorized to possess the gates of your enemies and to rebuild the ruins that others have abandoned. Your invisibility was not a lack of purpose, but a guarantee of your purity for this high-stakes assignment. I name you now. The first fruits of the turnaround. You are the physical evidence that the tide has finally changed for your entire family tree. You are the first one to break the cycle of stagnation and the first one to breathe the air of the palace. You represent the end of the famine and the beginning of the feast, carrying the DNA of a pioneer into territories that once rejected your very name and presence. Being the first fruits means that your breakthrough is now the legal template for everyone who follows you. You are authorized to open doors that have been locked for a century. The Zakar Protocol has designated you as the point of entry for a massive wave of restoration. Your hands now carry the frequency of the suddenlies, and whatever you touch in this season must respond to the new authority of your public commissioning. If you are still here catching the weight of these names in your spirit, gently press the like right now, not for me, but because someone who needs this word will find it because of what you just did. Your act of service in this moment ensures that the frequency of this revelation reaches the next chosen one, who is currently suffocating under a name that no longer belongs to their soul. Be their bridge today. Remember the exotic transplant I spoke of earlier. You are that tree, and the Zakar is the hand that has finally moved you into the open field. Your roots, once cramped and screaming for space in the darkroom of your delay, are now feeling the rich soil of the vast territory I promised you. The scent of the dungeon is fading, replaced by the fragrance of your true royal identity and your permanent home. You have been renamed, reclassified, and redirected. The slave garment is at your feet, and the ring of the steward is on your finger. But do not think the shift ends with a title. I promised I would come back to something, and I will. But first, there is something critical you need to understand about the final resistance that will try to stop you from crossing the palace threshold. Stay with me. The moment you accepted your new names, a notification was sent to the Kingdom of Darkness. You must understand that the enemy does not attack potential. He attacks the Zakar, the legal evidence that God has moved on your behalf. There is a specific resistance waiting for you at the gate of your new territory, designed to make you turn back to the familiar comfort of the dungeon. The first tactic is the echo of the dungeon, a psychological infiltration where the enemy plays high-definition recordings of your past failures in your mind. These thoughts will sound like your own voice, whispering that the Zakar is a mistake and you are a fraud in your own blessing. He wants you to believe that the scent of the prison is permanent and the palace is a temporary dream. Your weapon against these echoes is the decree of newness. Every time a memory of the old season rises to mock your progress, you must verbally declare Isaiah 43:19 into the atmosphere of your home. Stop what you are doing and say, "Behold, I do a new thing." You are not asking God to act. You are legally enforcing the reality that the Zakar is now the law. The second tactic is the comparison trap, a crisis of distraction orchestrated to make you look at those who took shortcuts to find their fruit. You will see others who did not go through the dark room of destiny suddenly flourishing, and a sudden emergency, a broken car or a family conflict, will appear to steal your focus. This spirit of envy is designed to pull your eyes off the Father's gaze. Your weapon against this distraction is strategic silence. For the next 7 days, you are instructed to withdraw from social observation and unnecessary noise. Do not look at the progress of others, and do not seek validation from those who didn't sit in the dungeon with you. Hide yourself in the secret place, focusing entirely on the Father until your frequency is stabilized for your new assignment. The third tactic is the spirit of heaviness, a physical weight that will manifest as a sudden, inexplicable exhaustion in the very hours you should be moving. It is designed to make you sleep through the midnight shift of your commissioning. This fatigue is an atmospheric pressure intended to slow your prophetic speed and keep you from taking the first step into the abundance that has been prepared. Your weapon is high-frequency praise. Do not offer a petition, offer a war cry. For 15 minutes every morning, engage in pure gratitude worship without asking for a single thing. This sound frequency shatters the density of the heaviness and clears the air for your instructions to arrive. Praise is not a song in this season. It is the artillery that secures the perimeter of your new home. These weapons are not suggestions. They are the standard issue equipment for the Covenant Keeper. You cannot hold the territory of the palace with the passive heart of a prisoner. The Zakar has given you the land, but your armor determines if you can keep it. You are now a soldier of the Covenant, and your defense must be as intentional as the Father's remembrance of you. You are standing at the absolute edge of your public manifestation, and the friction you feel is the proof of your proximity. The enemy's desperation is the final validation that the shift in your life is irreversible. Do not be intimidated by the noise at the gate. It is the sound of a defeated foe who knows he cannot stop a legal move of the Almighty. Stand your ground. Subscribe to this channel right now, not for the sake of content, but as an intentional act of spiritual alignment. By doing so, you are ensuring that the next word prepared for your journey finds you without resistance or delay. This is not about a platform. It is about building a digital altar where the fire of your revelation is constantly fed and protected from the world. You are now fully identified and fully armed. The garment of the slave has been burned, and the armor of the steward has been fitted to your soul. There is nothing left to wait for, and there is no reason to look back at the shadows. We are moving into the final sealing of this word, where the Zakar is locked into your physical reality forever. Stay with me. Close your eyes now and step into the center of your own soul. I need you to place your right hand over your heart and your left hand open, palm facing upward, as a physical sign of your readiness to release the old and receive the new. Take a deep, intentional breath. Breathe in the weight of this glory and breathe out the tension of the years you spent fighting alone in the dark. This is not a moment for religious performance, but a legal session of divestment and investiture. You are standing in the courtrooms of the Spirit, and the atmosphere around you is being charged with the frequency of the Zakar protocol. Feel the warmth beginning to move through your hands. For the Father is personally attending to the transition of your spirit. The period of your hiddenness is dissolving, and the light of your manifestation is breaking through the shadows that once shielded you. The dark room of destiny has served its purpose, and the door is now standing wide open for your exit. I declare a legal release over the trauma of the long delay that has bruised your hope and made your heart sick. I strip away the memory of the years where you felt bypassed and the seasons where the silence of God felt like the rejection of God. You are no longer tethered to the pain of the not yet or the exhaustion of the waiting room. That weight is falling off your shoulders right now, vanishing into the abyss of a season that has officially expired. I command the spirit of premature resignation to unhand your mind and your future. I release you from the lie that said your window has closed, or that you must settle for a life of spiritual survival. Every cynical reflex that tried to protect your heart from hope is being dismantled as you listen. You are releasing the safety of the shadows and the comfort of being overlooked. The survivalist identity is dying so that the possessor within you can finally breathe. Type "I release the delay" in the comments right now, not as a social interaction, but as a legal decree that you are severing the cord to your previous stagnation. As your fingers touch the screen, visualize the chains of the last 3 years turning to dust. You are marking the exact coordinate in time where your soul stopped looking backward at what was lost and started looking forward at what is being delivered. This is your act of alignment with the Zakar protocol. I declare the release of the misinterpreted silence that made you believe you were alone in the pit. I release the bitterness you held against the butlers who forgot you and the brothers who sold you. That resentment is a chain to the dungeon, and today that chain is broken. I release you into a state of holy neutrality, where the past no longer has the power to trigger your pain or slow your pace toward the palace. The slate is clean. I declare the release of the sense of the dungeon, the residue of poverty, the frequency of scarcity, and the habit of asking for permission to exist. The slave garment is being burned in the fire of this revelation. I release you from the need to explain your worth to those who cannot see your Zakar. Every voice of disqualification that you have internalized is being muted by the roar of the Father's remembrance over your life. You are stepping out clean, refined, and ready. I declare the release of the hidden fear of your own magnitude. You are letting go of the smallness that felt like humility, but was actually a prison for your potential. I release the anxiety of being seen and the pressure of being the chosen one. You are no longer carrying the burden of your destiny by your own strength. You are releasing the struggle and leaning into the sovereign current that is now carrying you into the palace. The struggle is over. I call forward the covenant keeper within you. Step into the authority of the one who guarded the seed in the dark. I activate the spiritual legal right to collect the harvest of your persistence. Your hands are now empowered to build what was previously blocked, and your voice is authorized to command the resources that have been held in celestial escrow. The guardian of the promise is now the heir of the promise, stepping into the full weight of stewardship. I call forward the strategic remnant. I activate your capacity to see the hidden blueprints of the next season. The restricted files of divine strategy are being unsealed for your eyes. You are no longer a victim of the global chaos, but a governor of the divine order. The wisdom that was forged in the silence of your hiding is now being weaponized for the sake of the kingdom's advancement in your territory. You see what others miss. Type, "I activate my authority" in the comments. This is your signature on the commissioning papers of the Spirit. You are announcing to the principalities that the dark room of destiny is empty because the print is complete. As you type, feel the shift from the posture of a waiter to the status of a steward. You are no longer asking if it is your turn. You are declaring that your turn has arrived and you are ready to occupy. I call forward the first fruits of the turnaround. I activate your status as the pioneer of your family tree. The cycle of stagnation ends with your feet. I declare that your breakthrough is now the legal template for everyone who carries your blood. You are the entry point for a wave of restoration that will swallow the years of famine. The fragrance of your new season is now your permanent identity and your spiritual atmosphere. You are the evidence of God's Zakar. The dark room of destiny is now flooded with the light of the Father's face, for the image of his Son has been perfectly fixed within your character. The exotic transplant is complete. Your roots have touched the limitless soil of the open field, and they are expanding with a speed that defies natural law. The container is gone, the ceiling is removed, but stay in this posture of holy reverence. Do not say, "Amen" yet. We are not finished. Stay with me. I place the hedge of Zakar around your every physical and spiritual movement, securing the perimeter of your new territory against every retaliatory strike that seeks to disrupt your newfound peace. As you step out of the dark room and into the palace light, I decree a supernatural cloaking over your whereabouts and your path, ensuring that no weapon formed against your transition shall find its mark. You are moving under the canopy of the Most High, shielded from the sun by day and the moon by night. I seal the vaults of your provision and decree a holy barrier over your finances, breaking the back of the devourer that has targeted your resources during the long years of delay. The Zakar protocol now activates a divine insurance over your house, protecting the seeds you have sown in the secret place and ensuring that your harvest is gathered without any interference. Every connection required for your next level is being guarded by angels, directed to your coordinate by the fire of his presence. I cover your bloodline and the silent dreams you have carried in the hollow of your heart, surrounding your family with a wall of fire that no spirit of distraction can penetrate. Your household is now a sanctuary of the covenant, and I speak a covering over your children and your lineage that seals the turnaround as a permanent inheritance. The dreams that were almost suffocated by the dungeon scent are now breathing under the atmosphere of divine protection, growing in safety until they are fully manifest. I place a covering over your mind, shielding you from the phantom voices of the past and the residual trauma of the waiting room that tries to color your present with fear. Every non-verbalized hope is being sheltered in the hollow of the Father's hand, kept safe from the eyes of the enemy until the moment of its full revelation. You are walking in a bubble of grace where the arrows of the accuser cannot reach, and where the peace of God stands as a sentinel over your soul. We break the echo of the dungeon before it can distort your hearing, silencing the recordings of your past failures with the thunder of the Zakar. We dismantle the comparison trap, severing every link to the shadows of others, so your gaze remains fixed only on the King's face and his specific plan for you. We shatter the spirit of heaviness and the fatigue of the midnight shift, declaring that the weight of glory is now your only burden and your highest strength. My child, I have watched every hour of your hiddenness, and I want you to know that I never once looked away from your tears in the dark. I saw you when you felt invisible to the world, and I held the vial that collected every drop of your sorrow as if it were the most precious currency in my kingdom. Your silence was not my absence. It was the intensity of my focus as I developed the image of my glory within the sanctuary of your soul. Those midnight summonings were my voice calling your name, and those numbers you saw were my fingerprints, assuring you that I was meticulously tracking every second of your preparation. I allowed the walls to feel cold so that you would learn to find warmth only in my presence, and I let the doors slam so you would know that only I hold the key to your true home. Every sign was a promise that I would never leave you in the dungeon longer than necessary. I have watched the enemy try to convince you that you were forgotten, but all the while I was etching your name into the foundations of the territory I have reserved for you. Your hiding was not a rejection, but a period of gestation where I was strengthening your heart for the magnitude of the crown you are now being asked to wear. You have survived the refining fire, and you have come forth as gold that is ready for the master's use. The season of not yet has reached its legal end, and I am now moving you from the background of the darkroom to the forefront of my purpose for this generation. Do not look back at the dungeon with regret, for it was the womb that protected your magnitude from a world that would have consumed you too soon. I have renamed you in the courts of heaven, and I am now handing you the keys to the territory that was signed in your persistence. I am not bringing you into the palace to be a guest, but to be a steward of the mysteries and the abundance that I have reserved for this specific hour of history. Your hands are now my hands, and your voice carries the authority of the Zakar that has been activated over your entire life and lineage. Do not fear the height of the platform, for the roots you grew in the depth of the pit are more than enough to sustain the weight of the crown. I see you. I have always seen you. And today I am declaring that your time of invisibility is officially over. You are my chosen one, my strategic remnant, and the first fruits of the turnaround that will sweep through your family tree like a holy fire. Trust the Zakar, lean into the frequency of my peace, and walk into the open field with the confidence of one who is loved beyond measure and remembered beyond the boundaries of time. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. Feel the fire of the covenant sealing your spirit as I say it again. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are sent. Let the earth tremble beneath your feet as the final decree is issued for your life. You are committed. You are commissioned. You are sent. Do not say amen yet. Sit in this. Let the weight of the Zakar settle into the marrow of your bones and the foundations of your future. Allow the atmosphere of the palace to displace the scent of the dungeon once and for all. Now, you may say amen. Send this to someone whose faith is still standing, but whose hands are getting tired. You know exactly who I am describing, the one whose name flashed across your mind the moment the Zakar was mentioned. Your act of sharing is the legal bridge God is using to carry this revelation to the next dungeon cell that is waiting for the door to turn on its hinges. You are their answer to a prayer they were too tired to speak. Remain in this silence for a moment longer, allowing the scent of the palace to replace the memory of the struggle. The shift is not coming. The shift has happened, and you are already standing on the other side of the threshold. Walk in the gravity of this moment, for you are no longer the one who waits, but the one who possesses. The Zakar is yours, the palace is yours, and your time is now.